Welcome to Transponista. And so this morning we'll be talking about spare parts. And the main thing we are talking about concerning spare parts will be in different sections and different stuffs about spare parts. But this morning we'll be talking about brake pad. I just want to share my experience concerning brake pad. So for every vehicle moving, there is always something that catches it to stop, and that's the brake. And then it has brake pads, and then it has brake linings, depending. Now this is the part. This is the part of the vehicle, and then this is the disc, the plate, and each time the brake is applied from inside, this starts holding the two. So my experience with this is there was a day I was traveling, and then I discovered I had to change my pads on the road, and I had this spare parts with me in the vehicle, and I changed it. So I called a friend of mine also traveling with me that he should get me another spare of the pad, and he got me another one. It was another product that he bought for me. So getting that product for me, while I got to where I was traveling to, I checked that part that I changed on the road. I saw it was still very okay, so it took me back to where I was coming from. And so when I got to where I initially traveled from, I changed that part to that a friend bought for me. And while I traveled with it, my journey usually is always around 600 kilometers or more or less, just few less or sometimes higher. And I traveled back to where I took off, which makes it about 1,200 kilometers. And most of the time, it travels. The normal pad I use travels either 3,600, or sometimes I travel with it just like 2,400 kilometers sometimes, and then I change it. And the experience I had was that the pad wasn't as good as the one I used to I usually buy, and one way or the other it affected my disc from the inside. Here, from the inside, it affected my disc from the inside. And I'm going to show you the outcome of what that pad I bought on the road did to my disc. Because this plate, this disc, got eaten up inside. And then why this one is not, the pad is not reducing too much, the one inside was reducing too much. It got reducing too much because it was on the road I discovered that my pad had issue. So I had to stop, and then I had to stop and I changed it. So while I was changing it, the one inside has already gone very, very flat, and the one outside was not flat as the one that was inside. And I was actually gauging it, because before I embark on my journey, I will check the pad. So it was the judgment of this outside, because as this one will be reducing little by little. For instance, now let me bring it close. Now if you can see, to some extent you can see that this is not flat with this part. It has gone a bit inside. So usually when I want to travel like this, I check from the outside. So there is a gauge I normally use in checking. So I checked. So while I checked, I never knew that the one inside has gone flatter than the one outside. So it was on the road. I now got discovered while I was applying the brake that it seems as if this pad needs to be changed. So I changed it. But before I could change it, that one has affected the plate, the disc from the inside. So it's always very good that anytime we are changing our spare parts, if at all we are unable to get that we usually use, we know the quality and then the distance is going to travel. The moment we finish using that we have used on the road, probably on the road, as soon as we get to wherever we are going, let's look for a better product, or that product that we usually make use of, and replace it with it so that they won't be facing any issue. Because for instance now, I don't know how much this one costs now. As at this time now, initially when I changed this, I think about 2 years ago, I think it was around 20,000 naira or so. But now I don't know. Probably it could be running to 40,000 or more now. So it's a lot of money. With how much? This is just, I think, 5,000 naira pad. So let's just take a look at it, and you see that it's best to continue using the part that you know the quality. So now, so this is what I was saying initially. So for instance now, this is the effect of what the disc has cost, or the, let me say, the pad that I initially bought. This is the effect now. The effect of it is that it has spoiled part of one side of the disc, or on one leg of the vehicle, and that's the right side of the wheel. Now take a look at this. These are the parts I changed at the same time. Now looking at this now, take a look at this O at the center. Can you see this O here? I'm pointing at this O. You can see. And then take a look at this. You can see this one is still very is wide. It's wider than, now for instance, now take a look at this. Now if you look at this, you can see that this division is still showing very clearly, with this as well showing very clearly, while this is almost flat. Can you see? It's almost flat. So that's the effect. That's the effect. You can see this one is so close, but if I put this inside this now, you can see it's totally in. Not so. Anytime we are changing our parts, we need to be very careful. That part that is so quality, the standard of what we have been using, we should keep on using it. And that's one of those things that can make our vehicle to last long, and then the parts to be okay, and not be changing parts unnecessarily, especially when things are very expensive. Even if things are not expensive, we still need to maintain the standard, the quality of what we make use on our vehicles. Thank you very much for watching.